A very good evening to one and all present here. Let me introduce myself. Myself, Surabhi Rajesh, presently volunteering as a Membership Development Coordinator of IEEE Link. As you all know, this evening we are gathered here to attend the award awareness session for Larry K. Wilson Regional Student Activities Award. The purpose of this award is to recognize annually in each region of IEEE the student member most responsible for an extraordinary accomplishment associated with student activities. So, before we kickstart today's session, let us have the official welcome address delivered by Nivedita PM, the Technical Coordinator of IEEE Link. Over to you, Nivedita.
Thank you, Surabhi. So, a warm good morning, good evening to one and all present here. At first, let me thank each and every one of you for joining the award session today on Larry K. Wilson Regional Student Activities Award. I am Nivedita PM, Technical Coordinator, IEEE Link, and I'm having immense pleasure in welcoming each and every one of you to this evening. So, we're glad to have Mr. Virendra Pratap Singh, Ratho, Software Engineer, Optum, for handling today's session. A warm welcome to you, sir. And now, I also welcome all the others who have joined for the session today. And without further any delay, we'll turn the time over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Nivedita, and a very good evening to everyone present here. So, thank you for taking out your time on Saturday evening. And today, we all are here to discuss and answer your queries on IEEE MGA Larry K. Wilson Student Volunteer Award. So, we'll start with a very small question to check the enthusiasm of the students of Kerala. So, how many of you are from third year, or you are in your final year, or even if you are a sophomore or first year student? So, please comment that in your chat section. Great. We have students from third year, we have first year, second years, first year. Second year, third year again. Great. Mostly we have students from third year, second year, and the first year, and that is excellent. If we talk of people who are in their first year, they are attending events like this. It means they definitely have a great ambition, and they know, and they are very much aware of what is going inside IEEE. So, great guys. So now let's move on to my introduction. As Surbi already mentioned that I'm a software engineer at Optum, and before that, in my during my college period, I was an active IEEE volunteer. I started volunteering with IEEE in my first year. I took that membership, and then I started participating a lot. Initially, I developed this passion for participation, and gradually becoming a volunteer in my second year, and then taking chances and opportunities in various committees and at my section, at national level and at international level. So we'll first discuss why what is IEEE Larry K. Wilson Award, and uh, what are the challenges students face, and why this session was necessary. So IEEE MGA Larry K. Wilson awards and recognizes people who are exceptionally doing great as a volunteer and contributing in this community over different reasons. So this award is given to people, one volunteer in different regions of IEEE. So we all lie in region 10, that is the Asia Pacific region. And each year, 31st March is the deadline by which you can apply. So I'll be starting with my presentation. Please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Great. Great. So we'll move on to the profile section. So yesterday I was asking students to send their queries, and the most frequent query that I received from students was, what is an IEEE profile and how do we go forward to it? So let me tell you what IEEE profile is. It is just like a resume you have for job, CV you have for job, you have a LinkedIn profile. So it's a profile that is that gives a glimpse of your IEEE participation, volunteering, what initiatives you have taken, and the cumulative experience that you have in a form of a document. And that is a very basic requirement to fill the Larry K. Wilson nomination. And Larry K. Wilson award is generally a nominator based award application. Here you cannot self-nominate yourself. It is only a nominator based. That means you have to reach out to someone whom you know, who can nominate you very confidently that yes, you are the right candidate. So the very first step for this application is to choose a nominator who can write and draft for you, who can coordinate with you, and who can submit the application for you. So I was requested that I shall give a walkthrough of the award portal, because I will be sharing my experiences during the session during the walkthrough. So a walkthrough will give you a better idea of how everything looks like. So I've opened this nomination platform. If you go on and search on Google, IEEE Larry K. Wilson, click on the first link that you get. That is IEEE students page. It will ask you for visit the awards portal. So now I'm visiting the awards portal. Here you can see there are multiple options on my left side. This is home, my nominations, all incomplete, complete, expired, archive. And in front of the page, you can see this is the place where we submit an application for a new award. So there is a list of awards. Now, when we see award nominee name, refer to the additional mentioned. So we'll read one by one, how to approach your answers and then submit your application. Since we are looking for Larry K. Wilson, it is there. And these are the necessary conditions that you need to meet while applying for Larry K. Wilson. These are available there. You can read them in your free time. We'll move on to the next section. Yes. This is the details of the nominee, that is you. So your region, that is region 10, there's a student branch code associated with every student branch all over the world. You can get it from your chair, or you can find it yourself by just going on vTools. vTools is again a volunteering tool of IEEE that helps you to find events, submit reportings of your events, and again helps you to know more about your SB, about the past, how many events that your SB have carried, other SB have created. So you can get a good idea if you want to start your volunteering career. So these are a student branch name, nominee member number, years of membership. Then it is an email ID. So one thing I like about the people of Kerala, the students of Kerala. That is, they are very tech savvy, but also they are very, very smart and they are very, very aware. So we can see by the audience itself. And what I notice is I got an email from your the links team, and I saw that students and the faculties, their email IDs were like nivedita@IEEE.org. And I was surprised to see that because it happens rarely. And having an IEEE email ID anywhere, if you apply for any award, can give you an advantage in the terms that whoever is reading that, they will get an idea that you have an IEEE email ID, and just give a positive sense while taking the first impression out from you. We'll move on to the next section, that is the details of the nominator. It is to be filled by the nominator, respective nominator you have chosen to put your application forward. Now we are at the question answer page. The first question, that is, it reads as a primary volunteer accomplishment for which the nominee is being nominated. So it's a 300 word count answer. You have to mention your primary accomplishment in all the years of your volunteering or your participation, your serving in committees. Which accomplishment do you think should come at the top? Now it is something you have to decide. Each individual here, they might have their own primary accomplishment, the topmost accomplishment that you have to mention here, and you need to take care that this should be filled in a third person. Okay, this is something to be noted and taken care. It is to be written in third person. And I also wrote my IEEE profile. We'll know more about the profile in the later section, but that also I completed in keeping it in third person. So this is your very primary accomplishment. The next next question is 3 major accomplishments from highest to least order. Now you have to mention the top 3 accomplishments during your IEEE journey in highest to least order, 1, 2, 3, and you need to take care that it completes in 300 words. And each accomplishment has been given allotted 300 words, so you can just find the right words. And one thing again that you need to take care is you have to mention the stats, the impact that you are creating. It should give some a brief idea to the reviewer who is reviewing your application, that what impact is it in terms of numbers. So it's always good to keep numbers handy. Let's say you conducted an online webinar, since we are in the time of COVID era. So we were doing online events, and we were not in the auditoriums in our main halls while we were conducting events. So it was becoming difficult to catch an impact, but online again, it makes some things very easy. If you see, you can easily count the number of people attending, the number of people who are logging. You can take their, you can work on the data and make your application in such a way that your impact is clearly shown, that these are the number of people who are directly affected by attending this event. You carried out an humanitarian event. You need to know what was the number in which your event was spread. So that is to be taken care seriously. The numbers are very important. Now it asks for other accomplishment. Now I suggest not to leave any section empty, because this is your chance, this is your go section, and you should try to incorporate the most of it. You should leverage each and every section available here, even if it is other section, you should try to leverage it. Now, the next question asks for your volunteer roles served within IEEE if you were a member in the student branch committee. So you can mention that if you have been working in IEEE Links team, the link team that who is carrying out this event, and they are doing a fantastic job. I've been following them from years now. So you can mention that you were the publicity lead or technical coordinator. Then you can mention all the other roles as well. If you worked in an international committee, so you served as, let's say, as a membership development coordinator. So you can mention that again. Now, the most, I think that it's the most important section. It is attaching nominees IEEE profile in a PDF format. We'll go on the PPT again. So for profile, there is no fixed format, but this is a recommendation from my side because I used this profile. This is how the profile looks. It was a 10-page profile. I'm not showing the whole data to you here, but this is just a glimpse of the first page. If you see here, there is an introduction which is written in third person. So, and you can take the screenshot or you can read it, and you can see the second is image collage. Now, when I was filling my application, I was taking guidance from my mentors, and they suggested me to use a collage of the images of me participating in IEEE events. So this is just again a collage, an image, and in a form of square box. So you can start with your images, but do not try to incorporate images in the later section of your profile. So I suggest that you try to incorporate the images in as less space as possible, because you are only given 10 pages and you have to show all your journey, all your hard work in those 10 pages. Next is statistics, as I already discussed this, that you have to mention the amount of impact. Let's say we will take an example. Let's say one of the volunteer here who is in first year, and she is from some SB in Kerala section, and they got the opportunity to work as a social media coordinator in their student branch committee, and they decided to take an initiative by opening a YouTube channel. Yes. Nowadays, many of us have YouTube channel, but there was a time when SBs were not having YouTube channels. So one social media coordinator decided to open a YouTube channel, and their job is to work on increasing the subscribers, increasing the views on videos, and making strategies so that their audience becomes wide and wide. And that's how you can easily jot down your statistics, that there was a 7.65 CTR rate. It is all available in the YouTube, your page section, the one admin who manages that, and the number of views, the number of subscribers. So that can easily detect what are the number of people's lives you are affecting through your events. Now, precedence. Precedence is in this application, we start with introduction, then collage, then we describe the activities, the roles, and the initiative taken by the nominee. So you have to, my suggestion is that you start with your international level activities first, then national, and then state section level, and then university student branch level activities. You try to incorporate all the impact creating initiatives that you have taken in the same order. Let's say you worked in Kerala, the flood disaster which came in Kerala, and I know what IEEE Kerala section did, and they were praised all over the world. They were in news, and I was watching them. I was so inspired. So you can just mention that you worked in that humanitarian initiative to provide help to people affected in Kerala. So this is how you complete your application. And I think for all the application, not just Larry K. Wilson, for all award application, you just need to have the same disciplined approach that uh, um, you give a brief introduction of yourself, you produce statistics, and you be honest in your application while jotting down the points. Do not try to rephrase those, or don't do something which is not ethical. So it is a moral obligation for all of us to only uh, show the activities in which we volunteered or participated. Yes, now the question is that I was yesterday talking to one of the Kerala section volunteer. Now he asked me that he is just a participant and he is not a volunteer because he is not getting the opportunity to volunteer right now because he is in his first year, very first year. So I suggested him that it's again there are two ways of looking at it. One is I will share my experience how I molded myself. In my first year, I was telling that I participated in a lot of IEEE activities. Now, when you participate, you get an idea of what is happening, how it is happening, and what things that make you feel interested, and then you get the knowledge and you network with the people who are in that session. So participation is very necessary for any volunteer to bud into good volunteer, or I would say that for making good award applications, you need to be a good observer and a participant during your initial years of IEEE. The next phase of for any volunteer comes out as volunteering. So in my second year, I started volunteering with organizations like IEEE Extreme. I became their ambassador, and I got an opportunity to work with people around the globe. So this was the first time when I started volunteering with IEEE. Earlier, I was participating in my first year, but and from second year onwards, I started volunteering more and more. Now, volunteering seemed to me organizing events, but I applied into an opportunity called IEEE Extreme Ambassadors in 2018, and luckily I got selected by the recommendation of my chair at that time, and in that initiative, that was a life-changing point for me. So if you see Larry, if you see any award on my resume, that's because that was the starting point. So I was not so much aware about what happens in IEEE, what are all the benefits. So while participating in IEEE Extreme, I started networking with people from different countries. I made friends from Brazil who were student branch volunteers. I was asking them, what kind of events do you carry out? I made friends from Kerala. I made friends from Madras section. And I had this curiosity that what you do in your SBs and how you do it. So they were very polite and they guided me with great generosity, and they asked me that what you should start with a CS chapter in your student branch. And at that point of time, our student branch had I think 10 members, only 10 members. Now if you see, we have more than 200 members. So back then in 2018 we had 10, we grew to 200, and that count was possible because our SB expanded. So someone guided me that I should open a CS chapter. We started with the process. We got the approvals, and a CS chapter was formed in 2018 in October in RSB. From there on, people were motivated. People were seeing that our volunteers in CSO working really hard, and we try to step out of the university by participating in congresses. Now you see national congresses, state level congresses of different societies. So my suggestion for the newbies here is go free and participate as much as you can. Try to get the exposure and meet new people and learn from their stories, their experiences, and how they try to do some things. So in after October 2018, we started going out of university. We participated in a Congress of Computer Society, AICSS that happened in Goa in 2018. After that, we participated in WITS, we participated in AI, the India Council Congress, annual Congress, the flagship event. From there on, our SB members were participating in numbers. So they were getting the experience, they were getting the exposure of what happens around them. And that was a motivational factor for RSB to, channelize their energy, to realize how we can become strong, how we can take RSB to new heights. So what you see of the SB that I come from the North Cap University Student Branch, that's in Gurugram, Delhi section. And we have won several awards in our SB. We won the best website contest. Last year, we participated in the IEEE Link team, and two of our members gave a fantastic speech on that best website contest. And the SB is doing really great. So the change from 10 members to now was humongous. There was one formation of CS chapter post that PES chapter was formed, IES chapter was formed, V Affinity Group was formed, RAS, Robotics and Automation Society, Industrial Application Society, and there was a line of special interest group. For Python, we had for IoT, we had for coding, and we had many other things getting open, and our students were really enjoying these things. They were not so trained, they were new to these things, but they gradually developed on something which we never imagined. Now, let's say, take an example of video editing culture in RSB. There were absolutely no video editors. There were absolutely no graphic designers. If you want to check it, if you want to check the veracity, you can just go to the Instagram page of the North Cap University, go to their first post and see how the quality changed over the years. The change in content, the change in video editing, the change in graphic designing. There was absolutely no video editors in 2018, and now there is a culture of video editing. There are special interest group. There are more than 30 video editors inside the SB, and there is a rapid, I would say, culture which has developed just in video editing. So a lot of things have been expanded now. We have been going and putting our hands into vertical, volunteering verticals, and now I'm quite amazed to see how other SBs are doing as well in Delhi section. So that is a part of this experience. So participation, volunteering, and then working in different committees, volunteering committees. That's all the part of experience. That's all the part of journey how we travel it. Now we'll move on to the next section on the award portal. So if you have any queries, you can just stop me in between. We are at a point where we are trying to discuss more. Instead of just me talking everything, you can freely unmute your mics and start asking me any questions. Please feel free to do that. We are moving on to the next section. Yeah, endorsements. Endorsements is an important section in any MGS Award award applications. So in Larry, you have to take in two endorsements, if I'm right. Let me just check. Yes, so there are two endorsements. Endorsements are taken from people whom you have worked closely with during your IEEE volunteering phase, and they are again very strongly motivated to endorse you that yes, you are the right candidate, and they can write something well about you, that how you deserve this award. So you should reach out to the people whom you are in close vicinity with. So there are two endorsement, and here there is generally a myth that if you take endorsement from someone who is volunteering at a very higher stage, someone who is very senior, then there are high chances of you getting the award. Uh, Let me break this myth out for you. That did not, I did not go to someone who is very, very experienced or senior professional in IEEE. I went to someone who I had the pleasure to work with during my IEEE student years. And I reached with the request. I dropped them a formal email. Then I interacted with them that I'm applying for this application. It would be great if you could endorse me for this. So your nominator have to enter the full name of the endorser and the email of the person who will be endorsing it. Was the final stage. From here, you submit the application, and this is a walkthrough of the portal. If you have any doubts, please feel free to unmute your mics and ask.
Um, Thank you, sir. And now, if we have any question or answers, queries, that is, you may ask in the chat box. So is the participant having any doubt?
I also came up with a message from Aravindan. He was a 2017 Larry K. Wilson recipient. And this is the message for all of you. Yeah, I can see the chat section. Yatharth is asking, what is the best learning you had while in your IEEE journey? Hey, Yatharth, thanks for asking this question. There were multiple learnings, but if you are asking me the best learning, so that was in 2018, when I started my volunteering journey. I had multiple setbacks. You won't believe that I was even rejected for a volunteering opportunity that uh, completely shook me down, and I was very wary of that decision, that why it happened with me. I And the reason for my rejection was you don't have enough experience. So I applied for a volunteering vertical in one of a prestigious, very prestigious event at a national level, and I got rejected. And the reason was you don't have any experience. So from a normal perspective, what you will feel, what I was feeling was that I already participated, and I just wanted to volunteer and work, and they're asking me for experience. But if I will not work, if I will not volunteer, how will I develop that experience? So at least you need the first step. So I went to IEEE Computer Society page. There was the option contact us. So I was very dejected. I wrote a mail that I've been trying to volunteer into multiple positions or opportunities. I'm not being given even the slightest role to volunteer. I just want to contribute. and see how it works. So I was not expecting. I just wrote it in my free time that this is how it happened, and uh, if you won't give opportunity to people, how will they get the exposure and how will they develop the experience? So I got a reply. Surprisingly, I got a reply from IEEE Computer Society team, and it was a very motivating and inspiring reply. Now, what he did, he looped in four people, four award winners on the mail, and he tried to make me understand the concept of catch 22. So that was a motivational booster again, and I didn't leave the hope of applying again. And 2 3 months back, I got an opportunity, and then I started volunteering at national level, and from there I worked, and I showed that yes, I can do it, and if you will, trust me, and if you will give me the opportunity, yes, I will make an impact, and I will work as a good team player to contribute to making the initiative successful. So that was the learning, the best learning to never leaving the hope to apply. Even Larry K. Wilson, I was not applying with the intent to win it or lose it. I applied it in my third year, and I was my application got rejected. But that learning, which I had in 2018, to never stopping, to never stop believing in the hopes, that inspired me to again reapply with a stronger uh, application, and that's where we are. So winning and losing is again a part. How did the Larry K. Wilson Award help further your vision of volunteering with IEEE? Yes, Matthew, this gives you an advantage that when you are a recipient of Larry K. Wilson, it adds credibility to your voice that, hey, this guy got a recognition. He must have done something for the community. So there is a voice because it's a entire internationally recognized uh, award. So that helps you to take bigger initiatives and impact a wider audience, not just you are limited to your SB. So I hope that answers your question well. Anupama has asked, can you please tell your top 3 volunteering experience or role IEEE position that you held back in your college days, which you believe enable you to get this award? Yes. The first one was social media coordinator in my SB. That was my very first position. I got the opportunity to work as a social media coordinator in my SB, and from there on, I started taking small steps. I tried to build the reach of our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and our other Twitter handles, our LinkedIn handle. Post that, I was promoted to the role of secretary into my student branch, and secretary was again this you would say, I was trying to understanding how the structure of this SB is and what all things can make it expand and what all things we need to do in order to uh, inspire people to help technical technical skill building of our volunteers, of our SB members. And post that, I was promoted to chairperson of the SB, and that again was a top leadership position, and I was able to motivate 200 people inside our university, and to go and achieve a vision that was to be good at something that you really want to do. What all, so next is what all we need to add for the primary accomplishments and what all volunteering roles that we have to give more importance to. So in primary, one plus node, in primary accomplishments, you can mention the key initiative. It can be an initiative, it can be an award which you feel that deserves the top spot in your IEEE career. It can be an initiative, it can be an award, or it can be a role or a committee in which you are a part of. So you have to decide, you have to give priority to which accomplishment deserves a top spot and what all volunteering roles that we have to give more importance to. I think uh, volunteering, giving more importance is like it is volunteering is a mix of everything. Let's say there are content writing team, there is publicity team, and there is hospitality team while we go for offline events. So my way of looking at this is I used to work in, let's say, social media coordinator. I tried to uh, do, everything that was possible in that vicinity. And I tried to learn what all skills are required in a social media coordinator and master it. And gradually, when I was able to successfully handle it, let's say, if you're a graphic designer, so all the graphic designers can relate it with me. Initially, when you just start your graphic designing, it can take 4 hours, 5 hours to just design a good poster. Once you start developing more, gradually, like after developing 10 posters, the time for you to make good posters becomes gradually less. You master that skill, and the thing which was taking 5 hours earlier is now getting completed in within 15 minutes. So I used to move into different volunteering verticals, and I used to give importance to the things that I did not know. So if I don't know graphic designing, after handling social media coordinator, I tried to uh, sit with the graphic designers. I tried to learn how this thing works, and I assigned myself in a team, and I worked as a graphic designer there. Post that, I also worked as a publicity coordinator. So I would say that you should try all the things possible, because when you have the experience of dealing with a lot of problems, that makes you a good candidate for a leader. So if you have seen an army, we have the generals out there. We have right now they are leading the force, but in initial days when they are recruited, they are being thrown into different challenges. So they handle the security of, sometimes they handle the cooking section as well, and they try to polish things and uh, fill keep their guns clean. But when you see them now, they are generals, right? You would not have expected them to do things like that, but that is how a leader is born. When you know uh, how it is to work in a different shoe, you can actually work and manage a team. So you know how much time it takes to complete a work by a graphic designer, what their skill sets are, how much time it will take to attract an audience of, let's say you are organizing an event of and you have a target that we have to uh, arrange and spread the publicity in these many states in 4,000 people and 300 attending capability. So you have to fill those seats. Now you need to know how much time will it take, and for that graphic designer, you have to manage that publicity coordinator. So it becomes easy when you have already been in their shoe, you have already worked as a graphic designer before. So this is my way, and every leader has their own way of being different and doing the things. So this was uh, my way of doing things.
All the participants kindly note, if you have any more queries, please drop it in the chat box. We'll just wait for 1 more minute for any more doubts. All right, so since we don't have any doubts, we'll move ahead. So thank you, sir. It was indeed a very great session and very resourceful for each and every one of us here. So in order to deliver the official vote of thanks, I would like to invite Anup Santosh, the technical coordinator of the Travancore Club. Over to you, Anup.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so good evening all. I am Anup Santosh, Technical Coordinator of Travancore Hub, IEEE. So it's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of IEEE Link. And I take this golden opportunity to thank Mr. Virendra Pratap Singh Rathod. It was truly an informative and beneficial session, and we are very much glad and honored to have you with us. We we propose a sincere thanks on behalf of IEEE Link team for happily accepting our invitation to take this session. Thank you, sir. And here we have a small token of appreciation as a virtual memento. Now, I thank our Student Activities Committee Chair, Dr. Gilesh, and all other Student Activities Committee Vice Chairs of IEEE Link for your constant guidance and support. Next, I would like to thank all the Link team members for helping me coordinate this event all through these days. Last but not the least, I would like to thank God Almighty for his blessings throughout the session. And I thank all the participants who have gathered here today, and I appreciate the efforts you have put in to attend the same, and I hope you all make the best of it. Have a great night. Thank you.
All our participants who have come to our session today. So with this, we are winding up the session. But before that, I would like to bring to your notice that there is a feedback form running in the chat box. So kindly do acknowledge that and give us your valuable feedbacks. Also, sir has shared his contact details. You may kindly note it and contact him in case of any queries or any concerns. So thank you, sir, for all your insights once again. And thank you for spending your valuable time with us once again. So participants, kindly fill the feedback form. And yes, so with these words, I would like to conclude. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, team. In case you stuck anywhere in the application, you have doubts, so please feel free to reach out to me and try applying more numbers, and do not get demotivated by anything. Try to at least apply, because that tells you where you stand, and rejection is never a failure. It is a part of learning. So try applying, and all the best.
Of course, sir, your words have been a motivation to each and every one of us, and we will give our best this time. Thank you so much. Participants in the meet, kindly note, once you have filled the feedback form, you may leave. Thank you for being with us today.